Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the June 2020 Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Capricorn. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your sun, moon and rising signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs and see which video's title resonates for you most at this time. So to begin with, I'll be using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. And then I'll be, I'll then be moving on to the Angelarium deck. And finally, I'll be using the Moonology deck in order to get the main energies of this read, in order to provide further insight as to how this can apply to your current circumstances. I'll be using the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then clarifying further with the Intuitive. So, Capricorn, let's see what's happening for you currently between mid-June to the end of the month. Just do one more shuffle with the tarot. I've already shuffled them, but I like to do it on camera. And then we'll go into the reading. Just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who has liked, commented and shared my videos. It means the absolute world to me to have your support, so thank you so much. Also, to those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you as a part of my online community. It is growing steadily but surely, and I love doing these readings for you. I know that for some of you it's been particularly useful navigating the intense energies that have been coming through at this time. And I really do appreciate your comments. I read all of them. So yeah, thank you so much as well for those of you who take the time to share your thoughts and your journey with me. It's really, really appreciated. Ooh. So I'm going in with the Dark Mirror Oracle first to see what is it that the shadow is revealing at this time for you. And just bear in mind, this can apply in various different ways. Some aspects of these energies can even be vice versa, depending on who you're dealing with in your situation, okay? I just want to make that clear because I know sometimes that doesn't always come across in my videos, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's directly for you. Sometimes what I'm talking about can actually be relevant to the people you're dealing with as well. And their shadow aspects are being revealed. So take it however it resonates for you, okay? And only the parts that do. Okay. All right. So to begin with, you got blinded to pain. Make sure you can see that there. Okay, blinded to pain. So this is really talking about sacrificing your happiness for something or someone else that you believe is in the best good for all, especially whoever you're dealing with or whoever's connected to the situation. So it's kind of like it's in a very self-sacrificing card, okay? It's not so much martyrdom, it's more of a case of, a victimhood kind of energy, right? So it's kind of like willing to sacrifice oneself in order to maintain a certain status quo or to avoid rocking the boat out of fear of the unknown consequences that could arise as a result, particularly if there are other people involved, okay? If there's someone that you're trying to protect and you're kind of using yourself as a human shield, this energy would very much reflect that also. So those aspects can apply to you. Obviously, I don't know your life, so just take it if it resonates. If not, then do check out another reading. But I feel like this is for those who have been feeling this energy on some level. It doesn't have to be physical. I know she's got physical cuts and there's wounds and, flies sticking to the wounds to feed off it. And you might not be dealing directly with it in a physical way, but I feel like at least on some level, whether it's, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you feel like you're being fed upon, okay? That there's someone in your experience that is in some shape or form abusive. And you know, each argument, each situation that you navigate with this person is like another wound, and each time you choose to turn a blind eye or to stay within the situation or pretend that your pain isn't valid, you know, and just kind of do anything you can to patch things over, it's like adding another fly to the wound, right? Because they take a little bit more each time you do this. So just be aware of that energy. It's a very unpleasant energy to deal with. So for those of you who that resonates for, let's see what advice we can give you throughout this reading to help you get out of this situation. Because I understand that that's not going to be an easy situation to navigate. So let's see in regards to the Angelarian deck then. I absolutely adore this deck. It's one of my newest decks so far. So because I'm not familiar with all of the cards yet, I want to make sure that you get the exact meaning, you know, from the creators themselves. So I will read the small passage that comes with it. Okay. So you got Guevara. I might be saying that completely wrong, but you know, you get what I'm saying. Sorry if I'm butchering that. Guevara, left hand, Judgment. So this is the Judgment card, right, of the Angelarian deck. So this is very much like Judgment energy. I associate very strongly with Libra energy, okay? So you could very well be dealing with a Libra. You could have it prominently in your chart. Either way, we'll see what this represents for you. I'll just go to the deck now. The booklet now. Just give me a second. So this represents a specific aspect on the tree of life. This is the left hand section of the path of the you know, the left path. Let me just find. Okay, here we go. So, Guevara, the fifth emanation, the hand that separates the rule of law that brings order to the world. Guevara assesses what is just, helping us overcome our adversaries within and without. Hers is the power to cleave apart a unified whole and leave its component pieces. It is a trait that commands just as much fear as respect, because with it comes an inherent violence. She does this without enmity. It is an act that must be committed to create balance. The red orb exists as a boundary, closed to the unworthy. You can see the red orb here in her center. Guevara's position at the center of its pillar defines that pillar's trait of severity. Her push against Chesed on the opposite side of the tree is met with equal and opposite resistance. Without both of them in equal measure, we have no means of maintaining healthy relationships. Okay, so very prominent to the energy we're dealing here, we're just talking about in healthy relationships, in balance, right? So, we must have judgment to discern what is healthy for us so that we can bring it into our lives and embrace it, okay? So you can find this in law, bravery, and punishment, right? So yeah, very, very relevant to this reading, especially with this energy that's already been presented, okay? So this is talking about bringing in a balance, justice, okay? Not being afraid to take up the sword when necessary. You see how she's even holding the sword. Okay. So this is it. This is the divine feminine aspect of severity. Okay. Where she's coming in with the sword of truth. Coming in to cut out whatever is not necessary or needed or is unjust. Okay. So that is what's required within this situation, to take a firm standing against what is unjust, what is abusive, what is not to be tolerated, and choosing to destroy whatever is not healthy, whatever is causing imbalance in your life, okay? Choosing to cut the cord, right? It's that kind of, that's the energy represented here with Guevara. It is doing what is needed to restore balance, okay? Order and balance. So that's what's being asked of you at this time, you know? Do what is necessary to help restore that balance in your life so that there's that equal give and take, rather than just you giving it until you have absolutely nothing left to give, okay? It is not your job to, you know, be a doormat for anybody in any sense, right? So let's have a look in regards to the Moonology deck and see what that can shed a light upon as well. Wow, okay. Hold your vision, fixed moon. Interesting, so we'll take a look at that. I just want to show you the card here. So, hold your vision. Okay, so there's something, you've probably already been daydreaming about how different your life could be, right? That you know what it is that you actually want, but you've been settling for something far less because of fear, because of the unknown, because you don't know what the consequences will be if you embody this energy of Guevara, if you take up the sword and refuse to be a victim anymore, if you choose to cut out whatever this toxic situation or whoever the toxic person or people are that are tied into that situation. So let's have a look. I'm just going to get the booklet and so I can shed more light on this, because that's the thing, like there's so many cards in this deck as well, so I'm not completely familiar with all of the energies yet. So okay, so hold your vision. There are two main possibilities with this card. The first is you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. Again, very relevant to what we were just discussing here. The second, very different interpretation, is that something is stuck. That could be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great, because if you're really wanting things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break the deadlock. Dreadlock. Oh gosh, deadlock. With two interpretations of this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. So this is it. I feel like in this regard, you're having to choose to let go of something, okay, and move forward, because like I said, I feel like there is a vision that you have. There is something you can see, a very different life for yourself. That's the thing. It's not like all hope is lost and you're unable to and it's not like you're unable to see other possibilities, right, for how your life could be. I'm not getting that sense at all. I think you're very imaginative and you're very capable of envisioning a very different life for yourself. But there is resistance here. There is fear attached to it as well, because you don't know what's going to happen as a result. Like I said, whoever you're dealing with, whoever these energies applies to, especially blind pain, they're very manipulative, very abusive. They've been able to dig their claws into you for some time, and that's the problem. You know, look at how many wounds she's got. This is not a new situation. This is something that's been happening to you over and over and over. You know, and it's that breaking point. You cannot continue like this. It's not healthy for you. And you know this, but you're not sure how to cut the cord. But I feel like that's what needs to take place, okay? You need to free yourself from this situation, because otherwise it's going to continue to be increasingly more destructive, you know? And I think that should be the real fear for you, that if you stay where you are, things could get a whole lot worse. So I don't think you should put yourself through this anymore personally, okay? Because it's not anyone's right to treat you in such a way. It doesn't matter how that manifests, okay, whether it's emotionally, physically, or mentally, or even spiritually, you know, because there are a lot of psychic vampires out there. Some people don't even realize what they're doing, and that's what it is. But yeah, there is a lot of that going on as well. So you need to protect yourself and your energy, okay? It's very, very important. And I had someone mention this on my recent video. I think it was, which sign was it for? I think it was Leo's, yeah. And someone was saying that, you know, the reason why they're not moving forward is actually because they were dealing, the reason why they're not coming out of their shell and this, that, and the other is because they were dealing with a narcissist. Well, that's the thing, you know, with the reading, it's like it can go either way. So, you know, just because I'm saying like, oh, you need to do this, you need to that, you need to free yourself of this or that, or if in that case I was saying, oh, you need to apologize where it's necessary, forgive yourself, forgive others, you know, communicate all the rest of it. It could be for the other person, right? So for all I know, you could be the one that's kind of coming across as very manipulative. But that's what I'm not feeling in this case. In this case, I'm feeling like you're on the receiving end of this manipulation, right? But take it however it resonates. If it is the case where you're the one that's inflicting this pain on someone else, you need to be aware of your actions. You need to be aware of the pain you're causing, because it's very destructive and it's doing a lot of harm to this person. So really take some time to reflect on what it is that you've been doing. Even if in your mind everything's fine and, you know, you haven't done anything particularly bad, just go over the last few things that have occurred. You know, the last few arguments or situations where this person was clearly affected by what you did or said, how you were being, your attitude, right? And see, you know, is there something I could have changed? Could I have been nicer? Could I have said it in a different way? You know, maybe I was taking it out on this person. Think of it on that sort of level, right? If you were in their shoes, right? And if you are the one on the receiving end of this, then it's up to you to free yourself, okay, from the situation. You know your situation, you know how that applies, and the best way to do that. I can't tell you necessarily what you need to do, but you need to free yourself from the situation by either, you know, having a sit down and discussing very openly and honestly with this person or these people, severing the connections entirely, or distancing yourself from it. You know, whatever you feel like you need to do in order to free yourself from this situation and this energy, this energetic bond, do it, okay? Because it's not going to be healthy for you otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and pull the tarot now so we can get more insight as to what exactly could be taking place for you guys. As I said, I don't know your circumstances, but this will at least give you an idea of the kind of energies if this is relevant to you at all. Okay. So, let's have a look. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I can already see you here, Capricorn. All right, so let's begin. So the first card you got here is the Star, okay? So this is Aquarius energy, all right? So you could be dealing with Aquarius or have it in your chart. Regardless, I feel like you know that this was the furthest thing from what it is that you wanted, especially if this is a relationship or a family connection. You know, I feel like this is someone very significant in your life. This is not an acquaintance or just someone you vaguely know from work or whatever. This is someone who has a lot of significance in your life that you've known for a very long time, and that has been able to, you know, systematically wear you down piece by piece, right? Bit by bit. And I feel like in this case, you know that this couldn't be any further from what it is that you wanted, okay? Like I said, you have a vision of how you'd like things to be, right? And maybe part of your escapism is to go into that fantasy of how things could be, you know, and kind of live in your little imagined world, right? To try and escape how the reality truly looks. But what you need to be aware here is that that's not going to resolve the issue, okay? that's only going to keep you trapped in where you're currently at and allow things to progressively get worse, right? Because nothing is changing. It's just stagnant. But if you choose to remove yourself from that situation in some shape or form and go after what it is that you actually want, if you actually go after it, then you can manifest this energy into your reality, right? This can very much become your wish fulfillment. But it depends. It depends on whether you choose to, stay stuck in fantasy land and ignore what is actually happening, or if you choose to sever the cord and go after it. Okay, that is entirely your choice. Next card you have is the Six of Cups. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is talking about things that you once held dear to you, right? Things that brought you a great deal of happiness once upon a time. Things from your past memories that give you that warm, fuzzy glow. So maybe part of when you transport yourself mentally to this imagined world, you're reminiscing on the things that already occurred in your life, okay? So you might be going back and reliving your memories because there were times that you were very good, or there were certain connections where you felt a lot of happiness, a lot of warmth, right? There was a lot of love in the connection. So maybe that's what you do. You transport back to a time where you felt good, when you felt loved, cared for, respected, protected, all of that, right? All of the things that you feel you're lacking right now from whoever you are dealing with. And this can be more than one person, as I said. So this energy is very much tied to where it is that you want to head. You're like, I had that once, I want that again, And you absolutely can have that again. That's what you need to know, okay? It's really important that you're aware that you can have this again. Maybe not in the same format, in the same way, same people, same place, but you certainly can have that type of energy again, or even more, right? In regards to the last card, then you have the Father of Pentacles in reverse. So this is King of Pentacles in reverse, your energy, okay, Capricorn, as well as Taurus and Virgo. But I really associate this card in particular with your energy, right? The King of Pentacles in the upright is very, very practical. Okay, he's very hands-on, very good with their hands, know how to build from the ground up, creates very strong foundations. He is the protector, right? He is like, for me, the King of Pentacles is like the archetypal divine masculine, okay? It's that energy. He gets shit done. He provides that foundation, right? He's very, very secure in himself as well. So while he might not be as, enigmatic and, emotionally charged as the King of Cups, or as, charismatic and charming and passionate and wild as the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles in the upright is very, very solid. He's someone very reliable, very dependable. Someone you can craft a life with, someone that's, that really keeps their feet on the ground, right? It's like the kind of father figure that you want. So maybe this is even something that's playing out since your childhood, with him being in reverse as well. As much as I feel like this is your current energy, you're feeling like your divine, I know for a fact that your divine masculine is taking a hit because you've been overpowered by whoever is tied to this energy, right? But I feel like this is something that could be playing out in multiple connections over many years, possibly because this is the energy that this is the kind of relationship that you've had with the father figure, okay? And maybe this is the very person that you're still having this issue with, a parent, not necessarily even a father, but someone who is very much the dominant, energy in your household, right? So maybe that is still playing out in the same connection as well as other connections, right? Partners, friendships, other family members. But you've been overpowered by someone for too long, and it's had a rippling effect across your life. So now is the time for you to regain your inner strength, your power back, you know, protect your inner child, stand firm for yourself, right? Nurture your divine masculine aspect. I highly recommend, if this reading applies for your situation, I highly recommend looking up how to best do healing work for the divine masculine, right? There's a lot of practices that you can look at. Some things are really simple as well, that involve journaling, that involve meditation, you know, the use of crystals, incense, other tools that you naturally gravitate towards, right? There's a lot of practices out there, so I highly recommend looking into that if this applies to you, okay? Because your divine masculine has taken a huge hit over these years, right? Because I feel like it's years. This is not months or days. This is something that's been going on for years, I feel like. You know, and it's really time to empower your divine masculine aspect again, right? And that's what's going to help you to move away from these energies and move forward, right? It will do you a lot of good to do that work, I feel. Okay, so we're going to go into the final clarifications now before we close the reading. So clarifying the star card here, you have the page, let's make sure you can see that, and there's a bit of a reflection. So you have the page of wands in reverse, okay? Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So I feel like, yeah, you felt very disempowered by this situation because you had all of this wide-eyed wonder once upon a time. You knew how you wanted things to be. You know, you had all of these ideas. You had all of these visions, right? I don't feel like it's just one. You had all of these like aspirations. You had all of these things that you wanted to manifest. And you just got, and pretty much it was all quashed by this connection or by these connections, right? Like it's like literally someone's like, oh, my dream one day is to be a pilot, and someone's like, what do you mean you want to be a pilot? You couldn't fly a plane. You can't even drive a car straight. You can't do that, you know? And you being really sad about it. I know that might seem like a small example, but you know, just to give you an example of that kind of energy where someone was just beating down your dreams at every turn, to the point where it made you feel like you couldn't accomplish anything, right? Only what they specified you were good at, only what they told you could do. They tried to keep your world very small because then you're easier to manipulate that way. So it's very, very abusive anyway, right? Next, clarifying the Six of Cups, you have the Star card in reverse again. You could very well be dealing with an Aquarius in some shape or form. With the Star card appearing twice especially. But either way, I feel like maybe, oh, I'm getting another thing. Maybe the person that you had this true happiness with, the one person you felt like really uplifted you and inspired your dreams, maybe you lost them. Maybe they passed away. I mean, that's not going to be for everybody, obviously. Maybe it's one person in particular, but maybe for someone, you know, the person that uplifted you and inspired you, that you had all these great times with, maybe you felt like you lost the dream when you lost them. Maybe they passed on, I don't know. Maybe they're at a distance for you for some other reason. But you felt like once they were gone, you lost your ability to dream. Because there was no more, you know, there was no more stars shining in the sky for you anymore. And that's heartbreaking, if that's the case. For others of you, I feel like, you know, that you thought that because of all these good times that you had in certain connections, you thought that they would last forever, and maybe that was, you know, that was going to be the path that you were on, but maybe there was something deceptive about even some of the good times you experienced, especially with people who are very manipulative, narcissistic, or possibly even have psychopathic tendencies or sociopathic tendencies. They can be very good at imitating emotion and imitating empathy. Well, not so much empathy, but they're very good at imitating, you know, emotions and appearing to care, you know. So it could be that they tried to build you up to a point where you felt reliant on them, that your dream could only come to fruition involving them, and then they quashed it, right? So that you wouldn't feel compelled to try and accomplish that dream without them, okay? It's going to be different, so take it however it resonates. But I feel like that may be the case for some of you also. And for others, it's simply a case of, you know, I had all of these positive things occurring in my life before. You know, there was all this potential, and now I don't see it. I don't feel it anymore because I'm just stuck in this situation. I don't know how to move forward in this. You know, but the key is realizing that you are the key to your freedom, right? That your dream, your vision is your higher aspect. Whatever it is you want to manifest, that all comes from within. That's what you have to realize, okay? That you are the thing that you need and want most, right? That if you can come to learn that and understand that and truly integrate that understanding into your conscious awareness, you'll rise above this. I'm telling you, you really will. There is nothing they can say or this person can say or do to hold you back any longer once you realize that, okay? So then finally, clarifying the King of Pentacles in reverse here, you have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So water energy again, all right? So what this is saying here is that, you know, while you're having to regain your sense of, you know, stability, independence, dependability, be a protector and nurturer of yourself, you know, step into your this balanced aspects, balancing the aspects of self again. And excuse me, sorry if you can hear my stomach there. And yeah, you know, coming into that space, you have to be aware that you can't keep feeding the very person or people that are holding you back and are not giving you anything in return, right? Like, you can't keep giving so much of your time, affection, and love to those who are just trying to cause you harm for their own gratification, right? Whatever you're pouring out towards these people or this person, you should be giving back to yourself, right? Because you need that more than anybody, okay? And that's what's going to help you get into that space, you know? You can't do it with just the practical thinking of, oh, well, if I put myself here and I do that, then all will be well. No, you have to nurture yourself. You have to be a parent to yourself at this time, especially while you're doing the divine masculine healing, right? You have to be a parent to yourself. You have to be a mother to yourself, you know? You have to be a wife to your masculine self, masculine aspect, okay? To support you through that healing process. And the only way you can do that is to stop giving so much to these people or this person and these connections, and start giving back to yourself. Start realizing where, you know, cords need to be severed or where you need to pull back, right? So Capricorn, I know that was quite intense, quite heavy energies there, but the idea is to help you understand that your feelings are valid, okay? And that yes, this situation is extremely toxic, and that it would be in your highest good to pull back and focus on your healing. And then when you're in a position to stand firm in front of this person or these people, you can express what needs to take place moving forward, okay? So I hope this helps you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, as I said, please do. And yeah, we'll see if these energies come up when I do your next reading. I'm not sure what that will be yet, so I'll let you know. There'll be an announcement beforehand. But in the meantime, take good care of yourself. I'm sending you so much love, so much empowerment and encouragement and protection, of course. And yeah, and I hope to see you on my channel soon. So take care. Bye.